Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Harry and Jen do Horror with Friends. On this podcast, we pick current-ish horror films to analyze, critique, and discuss with a buddy who knows a little something about the subject of the film. This month, Jen and I sit down with lit professor Kasia Bartoszynska to discuss Ryan Coogler's Sinner. We discuss colonialism, tokenism, cunnilingus, Miss Piggy, and so much more. You should know that on this podcast, we completely spoil our movies, so if you haven't seen Sinners yet, be sure to check that out first and come back to us. If you have a minute, we welcome ratings and reviews on your podcast streaming service. We'd love your help growing the show any way you like, if you have the time, especially by sharing these episodes with your horror enthusiast buddies. Next month, we will discuss Bring Her Back, directed by the Filippo brothers. Bring Her Back follows two step-siblings who find themselves orphaned and placed in the middle of an occult ritual by their new foster mother. That is to come. However, now, let's talk to Kasia about Sinners. I was trying to hear what certain lines from Mary would sound like as...
as Miss Piggy.
As Miss Piggy.
Can you do a Miss Piggy impersonation?
I could do like, Kermie. I heard you loud and clear, but then you stuck your tongue in my coos.
Exactly the line I was thinking of. Exactly. I was like, it's got to be that line.
That's the cold open.
That is.
I'm an artist and tattoo artist, and we often talk about like something that's on our mind or something that we have done recently. So I went to Spirit Halloween recently.
Oh, it's open?
Well, I haven't been to the one in Ithaca. Oh, okay. I went to the one in Horseheads.
So you like made the drive to Spirit Halloween.
Wow. We made the drive and got...
Yeah, what did you buy?
What did you buy? So we got jewelry, socks.
But like with what on them? Come on.
Okay,
like,
fine.
Give me the,
okay, fine.
Tell us.
Give me the deets.
So Tegan bought Jason Voorhees earrings. I got
Dope.
Art the Clown socks because have to. I wanted the baby Art the Clown, but they didn't have the one I wanted at the store because I wasn't going to pay $60 for a fucking baby Art the Clown.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
Bought that online. We got some weird anatomical heart, like, put it in quotations, art piece for the wall.
Oh.
And I don't remember.
That's
there was
okay.
something else.
The only piece of, like, Terrifier merch that I want is a t-shirt that appears in Terrifier 2. Mm-hmm. And it's when she's at the club and she gets drugged by her friend. And... they're with a guy. Have you seen Terrifier 2? Okay. They're with a guy who's wearing a t-shirt that's got like a big like serial killer knife on it. It's got blood on it. And it says just the tip, I promise. And I think that it's
yes.
incredible.
And you're like, I want this.
It's like a great t-shirt. Yeah.
How are you going to explain it to your kids?
Well, that's the thing. I actually have a collection of t-shirts that I can't really wear around the house.
Oh, yeah.
And that I just
Where do
save
you wear
for,
them?
for gigs mostly.
Okay.
I wear them at
The gigs that like they don't go to?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I've got one that says "Drink beer and hail Satan" on it. It's got like a horned monster with two steins in his
at some
hand.
point you like have to start wearing those around your kids, though.
Yeah, no, for
they
sure.
have to like get
Especially-
gradually introduced to these things.
Well, and if I want them to start drinking beer and hailing
Right,
Satan,
exactly.
I mean,
You gotta let them know.
Yeah.
Normalizing.
Normalize that early, though.
Exactly.
that's what I think.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, I'll go. I'm Harry Nichols. I am an English teacher. I am a singer-songwriter, and lately I am thinking a lot about college. My college experience. I've been taking for my workouts. I've been taking long walks. Like starting at Fall Creek, which anybody who doesn't live in Ithaca is not going to have any fucking idea what I'm talking about. But all the way up to there's a large statue on Cornell's campus of A.D. White. And so like I'll walk like up to that.
That's a serious hill.
It's a pretty serious hill. And then back. And it takes me about an hour. And it's like a good workout. But I'm seeing, now that it's the fall, all these like young kids just like running around, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Life just hasn't curb stomped them nearly enough to
It will.
feel
Yeah.
It will, though.
And I just,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking about myself, and I'm like, was that me?
Yeah.
Was I like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know you were.
You think I was? Do I see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably.
At least freshman year of college.
Yeah, probably.
That's what I feel like. First years in general
Yeah.
are sort of. I mean, even the ones who are not so excited about it, like they're still kind of excited about it.
Yeah.
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 I'm meeting with a lot of them this week.
Oh, yes.
I'm like,
of
I'm
course.
also thinking about this, but from the other side.
Of course. All right. Well, we should then we have our friend introduce yourself. Yeah?
I'm Kasia Bartoszynska. I'm a professor of English and women's gender and sexuality studies at Ithaca College. I am also a translator sometimes, a writer, a person who reads a lot of books, a person who likes food. Yeah, I think that's
Awesome.
me. Things I'm thinking about are also like beginning of year college experience. But also I was just telling Harry earlier that I went to the state fair last weekend, and the state fair is so awesome. It's such a great like summer experience. It's so much more affordable than like taking your kid to Disneyland.
Dude.
But so it's like more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
It's delightful. Although many of our mutual friends have said that it is overstimulating and crowded and loud, I would like to believe that there is something there for everyone. You can go look at the animals, you can do the rides, you can go to the concerts, you can eat deep fried foods. It's just a delightful time.
Dude, I feel like the state fair is such a... It's like such an American tradition, right? It goes back a long ways. It's like where you would like learn about like what crazy shit was happening elsewhere in the world, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So I'm here for it. I support it.
It's pretty great. I think the New York one is especially good. Like the musical acts are
They bring good musical acts.
unbelievable. Like Busta Rhymes played this year. Like
I saw Joan Jett
What?
last year.
yeah, exactly.
Wild.
Yeah.
Did you see a musical act when you guys were there?
We walked by Kids Bop.
There it is.
Thankfully, my 8-year-old did not insist on watching Kids Bop. He actually
Okay.
said, like, well, they're just lip syncing anyways, so who cares? And I was like,
Wise beyond
love
his
it.
years.
this is absolutely correct.
I love that.
He was not impressed by the dance moves, so we did not have to watch Kids Bop.
Dude.
Yeah.
I won't let my children listen to Kids Bop. Like,
Oh, man.
I would rather them listen to the real version of the song, however filthy it is, however, like...
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But my kid insists that the Kids Bop version is better.
Wait, your kid
which
does?
is like
Okay.
I have tried to be like, look, I will make you a playlist of the actual songs, and he's like, this isn't as good.
We will get to the movie, but I do have a Kids Bop story. So my partner, Tegan, when she was in college, somebody made her a mix CD. And on the mix CD was a Kids Bop version of Modest Mouse.
What? Why?
The one Float On, I think it was. And she did not know that was not the original version, because the
original.
person didn't write Kids Bop on it. And so years later, like, heard the other
She's like,
version.
this version is weird.
Yes, and was like, oh, the other version's better. Like, and we listened to this, and the Kids Bop version, at one point, they're like, hey! Like, they do like a little hey in it.
Yeah.
Like, it is, but like years. From
Yeah.
college until she and I met.
That's amazing.
Oh my God.
That's amazing. I am horrified by the song. Like, Kids Bop will cover absolutely any popular song.
Yep.
And what's weird is that they change some of the lyrics
Yes.
to make it kid appropriate, but not always the ones you would expect.
No,
Right,
and then
right.
they don't make sense either.
Yeah,
And you're like,
what is Pink Pony Club about?
Right.
Actually,
Right.
Like, it's just
I just find it just overwhelmingly creepy as a concept. Like,
Yeah.
and like, who are these kids that are just like getting used by some...
it's like a cult, because they
I
don't
mean,
have
there have
names.
been child's music, like child bands, always.
Sure,
right?
sure.
Yeah.
To be fair,
That's fair.
But usually, like, there were kids bands, like, I don't know, like, there were pop bands, right? Like,
Mickey
New
Mouse
Kids-
Club.
Right.
Or, like, I don't know, I was going to say, like, New Kids on the Block, or, like,
At least
something, or,
Hanson
like-
got to
Yeah,
be like Hanson.
Yeah.
And they weren't just part of some
Well,
chorus that is
Yeah.
like unnamed and like, I don't know.
I mean, that's
fine.
it's like they were the kids band. I mean, maybe they weren't writing their own music, but they were at least ostensibly creating original music rather than just
Yes.
doing covers.
Yes.
Also, the Kids Bop voices are so heavily auto-tuned that they sound like robots. They do not sound even remotely
I
human.
feel
It's
like
really unsettling.
Give it like 5 years, and there will be no actual children singing on Kids Bop. It'll just be AI.
I mean, I don't know
Jen,
that there
give
even
that-
are,
give it 1 year.
Well,
There already is an AI artist.
There's many AI artists.
There's many now?
Many.
Fuck that.
We're on an extended opening. That's okay, because I have to tell you this story now. Because so Tommy is obsessed with Minecraft. My son is obsessed with Minecraft. He's 6 years old, for the listeners at home. And he wants anything to do with Minecraft. Anything at all. And so he found a song called Ender Dragon, which is a monster in Minecraft. And he listens to it religiously. He loves it. I am 99.9% sure that it is just 100% AI. And I have a hard time like putting it on for. He's like, Dad, play the Ender Dragon song. And I'm like, he likes it. And like I want him to have things that he likes, but also I'm like, buddy, this is like.
But as a musician,
but like you're listening to the end of the world. Like that's what you're listening to.
Because there is I mean, again, also like generational divides, right? Like every generation is like the music kids listen to is garbage. This isn't even real music, and it's like, but this really isn't real music.
That's right.
It isn't. And there's always a new technology.
Yeah.
And like, actually, I think this could lead us into Sinners because so today we're talking about Sinners because it's so heavily music based.
It's a music movie, yeah.
It is a music movie. That is true.
Yeah.
That is
with
true.
real people singing, just to be clear.
With real people singing. We think. Well, should we talk about the film then? Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's talk about
All right,
the film.
before we do anything else, Kasia, will you please summarize the movie for us in as many or as few words as you want to?
Yeah. What is kind of cool about this movie is that it starts out seeming to be one kind of movie about a young man who plays blues music, whose father is a preacher, and he's sort of tormented by his father saying, you know, you're on a pathway to sin. He gets picked up by his two cousins who are twin brothers, and they are opening a juke joint, and they recruit him to play music. It becomes clear very quickly that these cousins are sort of troublemakers. They have just gotten back from the big, rough city of Chicago, where they were probably up to no good. They have a reputation as fearsome people not to be messed with. They open this juke joint. We get like this kind of cast of characters that are brought in, sort of like, you know, we're putting the band together. Like, this guy's going to work the door. This person's going to cook the food. These people are making the signs. And we actually get a lot of, like, it's a densely filled out world. We really get a sense of these characters and their lives in a really cool way. And then halfway through the movie, plot twist, it turned like a vampire appears. We don't initially know that it's a vampire. And this is something I guess we will talk about because a guy basically falls out of the sky.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
And so, you know, at the juke joint, suddenly these three white people show up and are kind of like, hey, we want to hang out and play music. And everyone's a little suspicious of them. And then they start turning people into vampires, and the movie becomes a battle of vampires against people. I think
that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's
summary.
perfect.
Yeah,
yeah, hell yeah. Do we have questions that we want to throw out there to start us off?
Okay, so partly I'm thinking about your previous episode, and this idea where you talked about the movie Opus, and the comment was made that Opus is like the menu, which I thought was spot on and really fascinating, and I've been thinking about it ever since.
Are you about to say the thing I think you're about to say?
Possibly.
Okay.
I think I know.
I was talking to my partner, Antonio, and he was like, one thing that you need to talk about is a comment that he saw on social media where somebody said, Sinners is basically From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the thing I thought you were going to say.
And I was like, oh, huh. I have not seen From Dusk Till Dawn in a very long time.
Same.
Yeah.
I
Same.
don't remember all the details.
Same.
But then I like read the plot summary, and he was telling me about it, and I was like, oh, I guess there are a lot of similarities, plot-wise. I would not say it's the same movie.
No, I don't think so at all.
I wouldn't
No.
say even that it's the same, like similarly to like The Menu and Opus are not the same movie, but they're sort of doing the same thing or scratching
Yes.
the same
Yes.
itch.
Yes.
I don't think Sinners and From Dusk Till Dawn, I think they're
I
doing
agree.
different things.
I think that Sinners, you could argue, is influenced by
Absolutely.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Maybe.
Absolutely.
But I think Sinners also is, there's other layers
Yeah.
that
Well,
it's doing different things.
And
Yeah.
just to be like specific about it, like the thing that people are identifying as, being like From Dusk Till Dawn is this idea that you already said, where it's like one movie kind of in the beginning,
Right.
and then it just,
Right.
also involving a bar and, partying and such, right? It kind of flips on you.
Yeah.
But I reject that as an idea. I think that in any kind of so take it in the context too of its release, right? Nobody went into Sinners essentially not knowing that it was a vampire movie. I don't think.
I did not.
You not?
I did not
Okay.
know. So I had seen a promo picture of
Okay.
the cast
Yeah.
with vampire teeth. So I
Yeah.
sort of guessed,
Yeah.
but I didn't know.
But I guess that's what I mean.
I didn't
like,
know
like
either.
in the
I didn't
media environment that we currently have.
Yeah.
Like I think anything close to the kind of twist that you have, like
Right.
From
It's
Dusk
not
Till
gonna be
Dawn
the
is not.
same
From Dusk Till Dawn, there's
surprise.
really no clue.
Right.
That this is
Right,
going to
right,
be at all
right,
involving
right.
vampires. And in this movie,
Right.
you do get, like you said, he kind of falls out of the sky.
Right.
And he's steaming in the sun. And,
Yeah.
Right? Like, so there's
Yeah.
this sense that there's something odd and supernatural
But
going on.
the first part of that, like 30, 40 minutes,
Yeah.
Right.
I had no idea.
Well,
Yeah.
in the one of the first shots of the movie, it does that thing where it gives you the end first,
does.
right?
Right.
And
There's the people who pierce the veil and blues music and yeah.
Sam rolls up to the church in the very beginning of the
Right.
movie, ragged from his
Yeah.
whole
Right.
experience. He's
Yeah.
got a
Right.
broken guitar.
He's got a
and
bloody
when,
face.
Yeah, and when
Yeah.
he comes into the church, he collapses into his father's arms, basically.
Yeah.
And we get little shots
Right.
of like
We get these
scary
flashbacks.
monsters.
Yeah.
And so something's up with
Yes.
this
you don't,
movie,
yeah,
right?
you know
Like-
something is going to.
Although I think that the movie successfully distracts you from
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you think
totally.
There's so much other stuff.
Yes, and I think it does it so well that I think that it does it so well that I was so invested in that first part that I was disappointed when the vampires hopped in.
Okay.
So I just wanted this like.
You
I
were
wanted
just
the
like
drama.
You were
I was
hella
like-
down for this like historical
I
drama.
was.
Yeah.
I was so into it. So I was like, I mean, yeah, you could argue that it does it so well
Yeah.
that like
Right.
you're not
Yeah,
expecting
I get
it.
that.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
do see that.
Yeah.
it also shifts in that moment with the vampire, with the characters.
Yes.
So we're taken out of the other story and brought into a new world with
Yeah.
new people too, not
Yeah.
the ones we've already been introduced to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is, yeah, I don't know.
All right, no, fair. I mean, I guess I see where people are coming from. I just think that substantively the movie says so many different kinds of things
Yes.
than
Yes.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh no,
But
I
don't
agree
love
with
it.
that.
Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And I think part of that is in the character development that happens in that first half, right? Which, I mean, to, sort of cut to the end, for me, that ending scene, like that final battle, right, is him versus the clan.
Yeah.
Like, that's a totally different
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
But also, it's this moment for me of like, on the one hand, you're kind of like, yay, the vampires have been defeated. But then you're also like, wait, but those are all those characters who I liked
Right,
and was attached
right,
to. And like, they're all
right.
fucking dead. Like,
Yeah.
that's awful.
Yeah.
And so it just feels really different.
I do
think.
want to ask you guys.
It's really complex.
Yeah.
an analysis question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually. Because one thing that I was sort of reading about or researching and found a little bit of what the director was saying too about the vampires, the head vampire being Irish. He is a villain.
Yeah.
But like I was reading what the director had said
Yeah.
too, and it's sort of like the Irish were oppressed as well,
Yeah.
but he like is now doing the
Right.
oppressing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you think he's conscious of the oppressing? Do you think it's a mix? Like, where do you think?
Yeah.
And then like, what are your thoughts on that? The main vampire being Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I find really chilling about this movie is I actually do kind of think that the vampires think that what they have is like beautiful and they're having like a really good time with like that like scene where they're what's the song Road to Dublin or whatever?
The Rocky Road to Dublin.
The Rocky Road to Dublin.
Yeah,
they're having so like that looks like a shitload of fun. I won't lie to you. Like and so like I think I love how this movie kind of like takes it and makes it kind of complicated how you feel about these vampires, and I think that's a really important thing.
I was just going to say that it does it in a very different way from like the sexy vampire.
Yes,
right.
definitely,
it's not like
definitely.
Ooh, vampires are fun and sexy, and so I want to be one.
Right.
I think that the sort of the Irishness of it there in particular is a kind of like it sucks, like it's horrible. You don't get to see daylight. It is suffering,
Right.
but also there is this kind of joy and excitement in it, and the way that I think at one point he says like we will set you free, right. So that idea of like what is freedom is super interesting.
It is super interesting.
I
think that you know, I think it's significant that he's Irish, that the Irish were like once an oppressed, you know, population under colonialism, because I do think that like ultimately what we're talking about here is this sort of colonialist vampire horde that like it sees the value and the beauty in this black culture that it's not allowed to be a part of, but it can't respect that like that's a thing that it admires, but like it's not theirs. Right? It wants to have that,
and it's also
right?
it's a different, like not all oppression is the same. Like
Right.
it's like, you know what I mean? It's like
Well, you know, the Rocky Road to Dublin, the dance that they do with it, that's a traditional like
there's
rebellious
river dance happening.
Like, well, no, but there's like that's like an that was once
Irish
like an
step
act of
dancing.
rebellion
Oh, yeah.
against British rule,
Yeah.
and so like the fact that they now like have that and they do that is such a.
I think that scene to me reads as a really powerful moment of like solidarity and connection. Right. So there is a sort of like it's different, but also we can find commonality and dance and sing together in a way that I really liked.
I think it's complicated in that way, and it really makes you think. And like it made me, as I was watching it, I was like, oh, I really want to like look things up. Like I want to. Like I know very little. So it's like I need to go look things up so I can like learn more about these connections.
I thought it was really. I have actually read like way too much about these.
I love it.
It's like I have in fact studied Irish literature and the histories of colonialism.
That's perfect.
I thought, I was like, is this why you wanted me to do this episode? It's because of my Irish lit background. But I thought it was really surprising. Like the first time I watched it in the theater, I didn't quite catch what he said. So when I rewatched it. When at the end Sammy is saying the Lord's Prayer, the main vampire says something like, the man who took my father's land imposed these words on us, something like that. Which is really interesting because it suggests that he's going back to like when Ireland became Catholic, which is like that's like 400 AD. Like that's pre-British colonialism. Like that's saying that Catholicism is the oppressive force, not the Protestants, right? That's not. It's like there are so many ways they could have said more like a more targeted like British colonialism angle, but this was a much longer arc of oppression, which I thought was kind of a strange choice. Actually, I mean, I'm not saying it makes it like unpolitical, but it was just like, I feel like you could have had a much harder hitting statement there. I don't know.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But yeah, although apropos this question of like solidarity and difference, I'm curious how you felt in the very long and incredible musical scene of all the different styles of music over time and different cultures, which is unbelievable. And this incredible, I think, sort of tribute to Black music. How do you feel about the Chinese opera dancers?
Yeah, super interesting, right? I have no idea what to say about that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I also thought that was weird.
Yeah. My sort of initial discomfort was that it felt like maybe a little tokenistic of like, okay, we'll have some
We'll have
Chinese
like a Chinese
stuff.
person there. And
I guess it was because the two
Right. It's because there are two characters who
it's
are
like the only thing to represent.
There's also,
is that.
there's also like a ballet dancer.
There's
in
a
there
ballet
doing,
dancer
like,
and an opera dancer.
you know,
yeah,
they're doing like white people
different,
shit.
Well, no, the ballet dancer is black, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
have like a Chinese ballet dancer and a Chinese opera
Yeah.
dancer, and they have a black ballerina,
That's very
which I think is a
interesting.
specific shout
Yeah.
out to black ballerinas, which is
Yeah.
awesome. But I was also like, I mean, my first thought actually was like, oh, this is weird because like Chinese opera is such a high culture thing
Yeah,
that
sure.
I was like, this feels a little strange as a kind of cultural background for like
Yeah.
people immigrating to the U.S.
Yeah.
And then I kind of checked myself and was like, well, why am I assuming that people who immigrated to the U.S. wouldn't have listened to opera? Like maybe they did. But then also I talked to my partner, Antonio, about it, and he made this great point that I hadn't thought about at all, which was that like, well, also, I mean, given that all of these different people and groups and cultures are coexisting in the U.S., like who's to say that Chinese opera didn't influence the blues? And I was like, oh, like,
Yeah.
you know, I hadn't thought about that at all.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic point. I had thought of it less in terms of like, this is the blues and all of the things that stemmed from the blues, and much more like this is a representation of some question of authenticity that this movie is trying to get at, right? Like, and what they're saying is that, authenticity, what is authentic can be very pluralistic, right? It doesn't, like the movie largely focuses on Black music and
Right.
Black artistic,
Totally.
artistic
Yeah.
expression,
Yeah.
but it didn't want to exclude, right? It didn't
Yeah.
want to like have
Right.
nothing. So it's not trying to say that like there are no authentic forms of expression by other races, right? And so,
For sure.
so yeah, I guess I kind of found that to be just like a function of trying to be as inclusive as possible.
Yes.
But then that does kind of lead it to that kind of tokenistic thing that you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that, yeah, like, I think the Irish music in the movie is also super important and really incredible, and is this vehicle of like pain and oppression and sort of, I don't know, soul,
Yeah.
for lack of a better
Yeah, totally.
term. I love when they first show up and they start playing the kind of bluegrass,
yeah.
and you're like, oh, white people.
You're like you're
so
cringing a
bad.
little bit.
I love when they're
but
like,
then
oh, they're not that bad,
later-
and you're like,
That's what, yeah, everyone's kind of like, oh, I don't know, like maybe they're okay. But then later when they're singing,
Yeah.
out in the parking lot,
Yes.
it's like, oh wow, okay,
got
this is
much
really
more
beautiful.
gravity to
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's really
in a way
moving.
that is kind of like not authenticity, but like the depth of the music, because like the Irish songs
Yeah.
are more, there's more pain and sorrow in them
Right.
than the bluegrass thing that they're like.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. It's very like kind of
yeah.
cutesy and
Yeah.
like silly. Yeah.
And in the car early on, it's Sammy and
Smokestack.
Smokestack.
Which one?
I was gonna say the harmonica. Who's
Yeah.
the harmonica blues player?
Oh, yeah.
Delta Slim.
Delta Slim.
Or maybe it's not in the car. Either way, they're talking, and Delta Slim is like, "Oh, what do you know about the blues? Like you're just like basically a baby." And it's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, but he does." So there is
Yeah.
a conversation of authenticity there.
Yeah.
That also,
as well.
I was thinking about the moment when he's talking about the lynching and this horrific
yeah.
story, and then
Yeah.
he starts singing, and it's just so powerful. Yeah, that was such an incredible moment of
But
just like pain becoming music, right?
Are we getting the pain of someone who is Chinese? We don't get any background or depth into
Yeah.
what it would be like to be a Chinese immigrant at that
Yeah.
time. And not that
we
that's
get
what the
those-
movie is about,
Yeah.
but they included it in the movie.
Yeah, and in a way, I was like, I am glad that they are sort of like reminding people that, the American South and I was saying American West, but the American South was multiracial and multicultural, and like I love that. But yeah, it did, like, there's so much less of those characters, and so much sort of less detail about them. Yeah, that's true.
They felt real
Yeah.
to me though. They
Yeah.
felt.
Oh no, I liked the
They
characters.
felt
like people.
They felt
Yeah,
like people,
yeah.
but
Very
I just
much so.
meant
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if we're including things in that dance scene. and
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like- you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's so interesting. I'm so glad we're having this conversation because I never thought to question that dance scene, previewing my critique later on as like anything but fucking amazing.
me too.
And
I fucking loved it.
like-
I
Yeah.
saw the movie
Yeah.
3 times,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then even the third time, I was like, oh, I got to put my phone down because this scene's amazing.
yeah.
So good.
Absolutely.
Especially
So good.
that is a scene too. If I'm not mistaken, it's a single take.
It is.
It
It's
is.
one
It's
great,
incredible.
beautiful shot.
Amazing.
And
And
I don't know how they did it. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
And like the main characters in the story are still just like running the bar
Yeah.
Yes.
around this like total bedlam around
Yeah.
them of just
And the
yeah.
music changes
Yes,
as it like
yes.
hits
Yeah.
on different like
Yeah.
dancers and musicians.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
so
fucking
good.
wild, man.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Can I ask maybe an annoying analysis question?
Sure.
This is the one that like I feel like we ask some version of this for every movie. Why do you think this movie is called Sinners?
Oh, interesting. I mean, also, like, I guess I would add to that question to say if it wasn't called sin, like, what else could it be
What could it
called,
be called?
right?
Right, sure, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Because I feel like there are probably very obvious, like, Robert Johnson reference, like Dance with the Devil, or, you know, like, there are probably, like, lines you could pull from blues songs or, like, other things you could do there. I feel like Sinners is an interesting title for it. I mean, it does get said in the movie, right? Somebody says like,
There's a lot of
sinners.
talk
There are
about
a lot,
sin,
yeah.
but like it
Yeah.
feels to me like it's in a lot of different directions.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's what makes it work as a title is that it is a multivalenced. Like it's not clear whether it's like we are all sinners or sinners are bad or
Right,
you know,
right.
and yeah, I mean, like, are vampires sinners?
And my question is, what
Right.
constitutes sin in this movie? Because
Yeah.
I would almost argue that based on the treatment that this movie gives to the juke joint when it's fun,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
particular, I feel like this movie wants to argue that like those things, which I think based in like a very like Christian sort of way,
Right.
which would be considered sin,
Right.
the drinking, the dancing, the fornication,
Yeah, yeah,
so on
yeah.
and so forth,
Yeah.
right? I think that this movie would kind of disagree.
Oh,
with
for
that.
sure.
I think it's a
Yeah.
movie that like really kind of finds those things like beautiful
Yeah.
and
Yes.
vital
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
so I guess what is the movie's definition of sin and therefore who are the sinners?
I don't think the movie is seeing sin as bad. I think maybe it's
Yeah.
critiquing that word because like he rejects the church in the end and goes to
Right.
play music. Like
Right,
he chooses
right.
the guitar.
Right.
Right.
And I think maybe one of the first moments we hear the word sin is his father, the pastor,
preacher, yeah.
preacher, saying like his music is sinful.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I feel like I feel like that right there says
Yeah.
almost everything about it. And also
Yeah.
what you were saying about the my God, I remember no one's name. The lead vampire. Remy?
No.
Is that his real name?
Remick.
Remick. I knew it had something
I
like that.
Did not remember.
When he says
When do we even hear his name?
Very
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
But like when he says, like when they're doing the Lord's Prayer, and he says that basically that was like imposed upon him,
Right.
Like that's like also like religion is like I think it's a critique of religion. What do
I
you
think
guys
so
think?
too. Yeah. No, I mean, I think there is definitely a kind of at arm's length attitude towards religion where it's like, I mean, obviously there is a belief in the afterlife,
Right.
Because vampires,
Right.
And the baby.
but like right, and the baby, but. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess the question is, like, are vampires consistent with the Catholic worldview?
Right.
Right? Like, I'm actually not so sure that they
Yeah.
are, right? I mean,
I would say that it's it's skeptical of Christianity specifically because I
Yeah.
think it embraces like some of the more like folk magic.
Yes.
oh, yeah,
That
yeah,
is
for sure.
elements
Yeah,
to it,
voodoo,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
And
It's-
even-
yeah. Well, I was just going to add that it is interesting that for all the celebration of music, there is not a lot of celebration of like the music of the Black church or gospel.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that is a kind of notable absence.
Yeah,
I think.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and it calls to mind for me something that the director Ryan Coogler said about sort of the sort of folk legend that a lot of this is based on, which is the like blues singer sells your soul at the crossroads,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which is actually apparently like an anglicized, Christianified version of an original story, which involves much more traditional African deities and stuff like that. And so, I wonder if there's something in this movie that is trying to reject Christianity in favor of those much more,
like folk
traditions. Yeah.
Because I think also it's like, to me at least, it's clear here that selling your soul to the devil in exchange for playing good blues music is not necessarily a bad choice. Like that it seems like, I feel like that is defended as a valid decision.
Yeah.
Right.
In this movie?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
How so?
I mean, like the fact that at the end, like Sammy is still playing music, right, is a big part of it. But also,
but he doesn't sell his soul to the devil, though.
I think it's implied that he has a sort of relationship with the devil, right? Or a familiarity with the. I mean, like the devil is drawn to him, perhaps.
Well, definitely,
right?
they show up when he's at the end when he's Buddy Guy.
There is I mean, like there's a sort of affinity there, right? Where it's like you haven't like sold your soul to the devil, but like I mean, as you said, like you're leaving the church and choosing to continue playing the music, and like you understand that puts you sort of, in league with, or like you're hanging out with a bad crowd.
Yeah.
But like also Delta Slim, I think it's sort of implied, like where he says, right, like, well, if the devil's he has to come through me first. And he sort of implies something like, well, me and the devil have known each other a long time.
Yeah.
Like when he eats the garlic, it doesn't agree with him.
Oh,
I think there's a sort of
right.
implication that like he's had a, some interaction.
Been up and down.
Yeah.
Interesting. Ooh, I like that a lot.
I think also apropos, what you were saying before about sin, it should be emphasized that this is an incredibly sexy movie.
Oh my God.
So
hot.
much good sex.
And
so much
also,
good stuff.
So good.
So many hot people.
So many
a lot of hot people.
Yeah.
But you know what? It didn't.
I was wondering.
It didn't annoy me. I
okay.
often talk on this show. I often talk on the show about how when I watch a movie that is supposed to be, vaguely realistic, I get really annoyed when everybody's sexy. I think there's enough.
Well, there's a lot of characters.
Yeah, there's a lot of
characters.
There's
a lot. So
but
not
you're right.
all
It
of
is
them
really
are going to be sexy.
It is really sexy.
Can I ask a question that I will probably cut from the show? So I just kind of felt like in this movie, there was a tremendous emphasis, speaking of sex, on oral sex in particular.
Oh, yeah.
And,
for
sure.
I think we should keep this.
And
I think we should keep this.
Absolutely, yeah.
And why?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, interesting. Well,
does it lend anything? Is it just there because oral sex is everyone loves that?
Well, because for the church, I mean, often Christianity, it's like you have sex to have children.
Yeah.
So oral sex is for pleasure. You're not having babies out of that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like that to the Christian church would be sinful.
Sure. Okay, cool. I like that.
But also, I don't know. I feel like also with the word sinful, I feel like, I don't know. I think the church would see a lot of these things as sinful, but I don't think that the movie is saying that they are, if that makes sense.
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, I think that might be one thing. And also music. You sing. It comes out of your mouth.
Yeah, sure. No, but point taken about
things go in your mouth, things go out of your mouth.
Right.
Yeah. I think there is an emphasis on oral sex, but also it's very specifically, I think, more heavily geared towards like pussy.
Cunnilingus, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
like
I don't think there's any
totally.
like there's no sucking dick.
No,
right?
the only thing
there's a reference.
There's
to
a reference
it.
to it. Yeah.
That's what, when he's getting cornbread, he's like, "You'll make so much money that your wife might."
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But also that was actually one of the other things that I liked about it the first time, and I noticed it again the second time, is the word "coos."
Yeah.
Which is like, I had not even heard this word before.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought it was so cool of like this really specific slang for pussy.
I don't even think I picked up on it.
Yeah, it's said like 3 times, I think. And like it's a couple of different people say it.
Yeah.
Because the first time I actually, like the conversation in the car, I didn't at first understand what he was, because he's like, the Coos has a little button on top, and I was the what? What are we talking about? So I thought that was really cool that they had this very specific.
Yeah. Would the button be the clit?
The clit.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just clarifying.
It's the
button seems like a weird.
That's the Alice Walker of it all. Like if you've read The Color Purple,
no,
they talk about the button a lot. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. But it's also like very specifically focused on like pleasuring a woman, which is not a perspective you hear that often.
Well, I wondered if that was somehow related. Like, are we trying to somehow like reject patriarchy in this movie and embrace like motherhood and mothering and the concept of like women? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's something in it that. I don't know if that goes anywhere, but it's just like I wonder.
There is something notable about the fact that one of the sexiest characters to me is also like very motherly, like is breastfeeding,
totally.
Right? Like that she gets to do both of those things, and that role is so cool to me. Usually it's very much one or the other.
Yeah, very good.
And she is very hot,
unbelievably hot. Yeah. And I mean, I just in general like her. I feel like her career has been a lot of really cool roles of like expressing sexuality in complex and exciting ways. And I love her.
Awesome.
To me, also, this movie is so clearly referencing a longer tradition of Black horror.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, I need to prepare for this episode by like rewatching like Blade and Vampire in Brooklyn and all that. And then I didn't do any of that. But I mean, there is like a kind of, I mean, so the final scene, the date, I looked up after the movie because initially I was like, that's Buddy Guy. Like, why is this like the 90s when it's Buddy Guy? And obviously he's older than that. And like, it's the date that Candyman was released, which is Chicago, which is Black horror, right? Like, it's a very conscious reference because honestly, there is no reason you need those dates at the beginning and end of the movie.
Because they're like, it's not like, it didn't just say 1932.
No, it's like October 16th. Like, it's so specific. And at the time, I was kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. And then when it came up at the end, I was like, oh, okay, these are important. I guess I need to go Google these and figure out what, and I was
you sound so enthusiastic about...
Well, because I mean...
You're like, damn it, I have to do work.
The first time I was like, oh, this is so amazing. It's like intertextual and referential and complex. And then the second time I was like, did you need the dates? I don't know if you really needed the dates.
Well, if I'm gonna pitch a reason for having Candyman. I mean, I think that, or the date that Candyman came out. I mean, I think that it's just trying to connect, film to this long history.
Oh, for sure,
authentic Black art making.
Yeah. No, it's like a nice little, and it's also a kind of like, go Google it and educate yourself.
That's true. Yeah. And also watch this movie if you haven't.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't know how many young people now watch Candyman. I mean, there was a remake a few years ago, but
it was like a requel.
Ew.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, which was worse than a remake. Whatever.
It was not the greatest.
No, go see the original Candyman.
Exactly.
All right, so should we critique this film?
Yes, we should. Now, should we start with the number or after? So this is a debate that we always have.
I would say number first, and then, I mean, you can change your number at the end. Right?
Sure, There's nothing in the rule book that says you can't change your number.
No, that's it. You're stuck with it forever. I would say I would give it a 9 or 9.5.
Yeah.
It's pretty high up there.
It's mad good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Harry?
What are you going to say, though?
All right. I will. Fine. Then do you want me to go first?
I do, yeah.
All right. I will say I watched this movie 3 times. First time was because Tegan and I wanted to watch it. We kept hearing things about it. I didn't know there were vampires. I was super disappointed when there were vampires in it. I do not always love vampire movies. I sometimes do, but I find them to be repetitive and they don't really end up doing anything interesting with the vampires. There's like one vampire movie I can think of that I really like, and it's maybe about vampires.
Which one's that?
Transfiguration.
Oh.
It's like an indie film. It's really good.
Wait, what
Recommend
about
that
Let
to
the Right
everyone.
One In?
Oh, fuck!
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites, and I forgot. Okay, well, thank you, Harry, for reminding me one of my top 10 movies.
Oh shit, I do like vampires. Fuck, I love this movie.
Well, okay, yeah, I love Let the Right One In. Okay, well.
That's a good one. It's like, isn't it A Girl Walks Home Alone at
Oh,
Night?
I like that one too.
That's another good one.
All right, whatever. Well, okay, then I like indie horror. I mean,
Okay,
indie,
you like indie vampires.
Indie
Indie
vampires.
vampires.
Sure. Mainstream vampires.
Yeah.
It often turns into action. And I'm not always a huge because I was trying to figure out.
Turns into fighting the vampires.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I was like trying to figure out why when I was
Or
watching the
sexy
film.
vampires.
Sexy. Oh.
But when vampires
what
are
I
trying
like
too hard to be sexy, they're not sexy.
They're not
anymore.
sexy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like trying to figure out why I didn't love it the first time. And I was like, oh, it's the genre.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge action
Yeah.
horror person.
Yeah.
And then I rewatched it a second time because my mom was visiting. We needed something
Yeah.
to put on. And I was like, this is 2 hours. It'll take up a lot of time.
Yeah.
And she likes, period movies. And she loves Buddy Guy. So I was like,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Totally.
Yeah.
Put
I
this
was
on.
so excited when Buddy
I was
Guy
happy to
appeared
see
at the
him
end.
in
I
the
was
end.
like,
Yeah.
Thought that
that's
was really
cool.
great. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then I put it on today kind of in the background. And I will say the second time I watched it and third time I enjoyed it more than the first time because I knew what was coming.
Yeah.
So I knew, don't get so invested in this love story and all these characters and the blues and like,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's a movie I'll rewatch often.
Yeah.
I thought the first time I watched it, it was a little like, I felt like it was a little Oscar bait. Like, here's a way to get like a horror movie into like,
Yeah.
awards. Like, cause it's accessible to a lot of people. I don't know if I consider it horror.
Yeah.
And I don't often say that.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a really well-made movie. I think the acting's incredible. I think it's really interesting. I would recommend it to people. I think it's good gateway horror cause it's not super gory, but it's like there's a lot of interesting things in it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Ooh.
Wow.
Harsh.
Damn.
Dang.
Jen, I'm gonna give this a 10. I'm gonna go 10.
Solid 10.
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
What?
It's the first time I've ever given anything a 10.
Wait, this is the first one?
10 is like perfection.
Dude,
Holy shit.
I watched this movie twice.
Yeah.
I was completely floored by it
Yeah.
both times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I am totally hearing all of the like critical things that you are
Yeah.
saying, and I understand them and appreciate them. I just think this movie is so fucking kick-ass and original. And like just even though it's like, yeah, I get that it's also kind of like
referential and
and what's that Dusk Till Dawn, like it's got that in there too.
Sure.
But also like, holy fucking shit, it's like a vampire movie that's got like a whole bunch of musical numbers in it that still somehow manages to be like scary. Like this is the first vampire movie that I've seen in a very long time where I actually found the vampires to be scary. Like I actually think he's really scary.
The glittering
eyes, the like weird drool. There's like a scene where I think
what?
Mary's her name. The woman who's like mixed race. Which holy shit, I can't believe we haven't talked about that at all.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot. It was in my notes. I haven't looked at them.
She goes out there to like see if she can get some money from them because it turns out that they're like underwater. And
that scene is so chilling.
They're so creepy out there.
They're so
And then
creepy.
as she's walking back, you just get this little glimpse where he like floats up in the air and then it cuts.
Yeah.
And that's fucking chilling,
It's
man. Like
really-
it's
yeah.
really scary.
Yeah.
Because you know when you see her next.
So I
she's a
didn't
vamp.
know.
Oh.
That's what, when I watched it again, I was like, oh, I guess you do know that she must have been turned. But the first time, I didn't know
It wasn't
for sure.
obvious
It
to
was
you.
a little suspenseful.
The one thing I do want to say about the drool.
Yeah.
The grossest, most horrifying part of this entire movie.
I know what you're going to say.
Is when he's like, "Oh, you're drooling," and she's like, "Do you want some?" And then I don't want to kink shame anyone.
I thought that was totally hot.
I thought that was like pretty horned up. I'll be honest with you.
Oh my god!
I was like, that is probably the only way you can recover that moment.
Like, yeah,
that is
I am a
hilarious.
vampire drooling on myself.
Damn.
I was like, if I was him, I would have turned and vomited.
Nah, it just shows how like thirsty he is.
That's
for...
what. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was totally into it.
So yeah,
totally
so like that, I love all the dimensions to this movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different layers to it. That's always really important to me. Yeah, and I just think that is one of the most effective horror films that I have seen, like this decade. Frankly,
Would you rate it
and
so far your top of 2025?
Yeah. Yep.
I think also like it is impressive. And I mean, I feel like this is a thing that Ryan Coogler does well in general, which is that it's like an exciting popcorn fun movie that also like really hits emotionally.
Yeah, it has,
I mean, like the ending, I mean, well, not the ending, but like the moment when he's like holding the baby.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
Dude.
Well, those two characters, like their whole
relationship,
their whole side plot
is,
so
like,
incredible,
brutalizing.
and they're like,
but also so beautiful. Like it's just,
And as like a kid haver, I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, they have a dead baby. You know, like, I'm just like,
But then, I don't know why that.
no,
I know. I was like,
but
I feel
like-
like you're gonna make a dead baby joke now.
Right. Well, and just like if you understand anything about me and my trajectory as a human being, you understand why this movie like works for me. You know what I mean? Like it's just, oh man.
I
all about it.
I thought it was like incredibly moving, but also like really sort of politically compelling and thought provoking,
totally,
and thinking
totally.
about like music and oppression and like
I got to thinking about like Trump. Like I don't even think that the movie is really like directly about this shit.
No.
But like but I got to thinking about like the way Trump won in 2024 was by creating this like multiracial, like he made inroads with black voters and Latino voters and like
for sure.
and so like I just like that was so much of what my first viewing was like feeling like I'm seeing so much of what I'm living through in this movie, in this moment,
Interesting.
even though I'm sure that's not what Coogler was going for.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
there's so many different, like, I think that's the one thing that why I liked it more the second and third time was because also there's so many different layers that like
Yeah.
you can see something new in it
Yeah.
each time,
yeah.
which I think makes it a very smart movie.
Yeah, I think it is a very smart movie. I think, again, I mean, there are so many different, like, reference. Like, if you are a horror movie fan, I think there's a lot of stuff buried in there that, like, I mean, I was only getting, like, little bits of.
Yeah.
Right? Which is also kind of, like, it's a movie dorks movie.
Totally, yes.
In a fun way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and also coming on the heels too, thinking about vampire movies. You know, our last vampire movie was such a huge letdown. It was Nosferatu,
Oh yeah,
which I was not feeling at all. Did you like?
I
Did you
didn't
see
see
that?
it. No, I didn't
it's
see it.
visually beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like visually stunning.
Yeah. You know what we didn't talk about, because this is the one thing that has bugged me since the first viewing, and then I watched it again. And I was like, nope, still doesn't actually resolve it, which is the initial appearance of, what's his name? The main vampire guy. Rick.
Oh, Remick?
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 Like
Yeah.
Ricketts? No. Remick, which is he falls out of the sky.
Yeah,
basically. And I mean, it's so effective, and
Yeah.
there's this kind of like thud falls out of the sky. You're like, holy
Yeah.
shit. I think you said earlier that you were like, you already kind of know, like he's steamed, but like I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then also afterwards, I was like, well, wait a minute, like the sun wasn't down. Like, how the fuck did he get there? Like,
Yeah,
he
that's
was
a good
being
question.
chased by people on horseback.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, it was still sunny. Like, I mean, Antonio was like, well, he flew. I'm like, well, I mean, how long can he fly in the
Yeah.
sunlight? Like,
I
it's
mean,
not
that's a
dark
great
yet.
question.
That's true. If he's a bat and he's flying, we don't see him as a bat, but if that's what we're implying,
Yeah.
then he could have just turned into a bat in the morning, too.
Yeah,
Like,
wouldn't
that's what, you know.
bat also explodes.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen What We Do in
Yeah,
Shadows?
it's so good.
This also brings up a thing that I don't want to get into like analytically at all, but that I was so fascinated with was the appearance of like indigenous people in this movie too, and
because they're like There's
they
this
know.
guy. They
Like,
know.
they
They know
fucking
exactly
know.
what
Yeah.
is happening. Yeah. It's very clear.
But these like
Totally.
white settlers are too fucking racist to
Yes.
listen to them.
Yes.
And yeah.
Although they also like they're not like explaining like, hey, it's a vampire. They're just like, there's a guy who's very dangerous. Right?
Sure.
But I do
it's
feel
kind of a
like-
hard thing to
Yeah, if they were
explain on
Yeah.
someone's doorstep
Yeah.
And if it
at
was-
gunpoint.
Yeah.
if they were white, she would have listened to them.
Probably have listened to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was like also Annie initially when she's like, hey, these are vampires. Everyone around her is like, what? No, they're not.
Yeah.
Right. So there's doubt on all sides. That still kind of bugs me. There isn't really a good explanation for how he's able to like flee these men on horseback in the daylight and end up, because I mean, like, he is steaming.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
No,
he
he's
is
been at it.
really in bad shape.
Yeah, I guess
So-
I don't really care. Like, I,
That's
you
the
know,
thing
like
is I also
yeah.
was like, it's kind of like it's bugging me, but it's like whatever.
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
really
I
matter.
also tend to be dismissive of like plot hole type stuff too. Though. Like I tend to just kind of be forgiving about those things, and other people can't be. And it's
I
just how
can
it
be
is
sometimes, and other
Yeah,
times
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't. And this
Yeah.
movie, I was totally willing to be like, okay, can anyone explain it to me? No, okay,
Yeah,
fine,
yeah.
whatever.
Then that bugs me. Yeah,
But,
yeah, sure.
yeah.
Cool. Shall we discuss the hottest?
Oh, yes.
Who is the hottest?
Oh, I know.
You know?
I've had this planned.
Okay.
Yeah. Annie.
I know too.
That's what. Yeah, I was like,
Oh.
I already said this before.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
so hot.
She's so hot.
She is
Like
hot.
distractingly hot.
It's a movie of like wicked hot.
I mean,
people.
It really
like
is.
It's so hot.
Michael B. Jordan is
Yeah.
in the movie.
He was
Yeah.
my
like
Yeah.
let us acknowledge, but still, like I don't think he is the hottest. I think she is.
I'm gonna go Michael B. Jordan. I'm not gonna lie. At the end, well, he's like. He's
Oh,
like,
in his, like,
in his like
with his cigarette
with
and
his
the, like,
cigarette,
yeah.
and he's like got those guns out.
I
He's
thought
got
you
those
meant at the
guns
end
out,
when
you
he's
know?
going-
when he's
like-
in the sweater with the 80s.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
That was awesome too. Yeah,
I was like, that's a very specific.
with the stack
type.
ring. You see
Yeah.
that ring
Yes.
he's wearing? It's
Uh-huh.
pretty wild. No,
that
man,
was
where he's-
actually their where what's her name? His lady Mary. Like, she is the hottest at the very end.
Oh, that
Mm.
outfit.
Like, that's what,
very
yeah,
hot.
I
yes.
was like, oh, okay.
Michael B. Jordan for me all day long, man.
I mean, he was my second choice. He was
Yeah.
my second choice.
He's my second choice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the least hot person? Is that mean?
That is a little bit mean.
Terrible.
I'm gonna look at the cast.
Okay, we don't have to go there.
But yeah.
I mean, Remick wasn't very attractive in the
The
film.
hottest. Yeah, that's true. I mean, which actually, like, it's not like there's a shortage of hot Irish actors that could have been cast in that
Wait,
role
is he
if you
actually
wanted to.
Irish in
Oh, I
real
don't
life?
know. I mean, I assumed so.
Well, I think they wanted to. They didn't want him to be hot. Why should he be hot?
That's
right?
true.
He
Yeah.
should be this kind of
Yeah.
insidious looking.
Oh man, at the end when he had those long nails,
Oh yeah.
so creepy,
Scary, right? That's what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
like-
and that whole
yeah.
sequence in the
Yeah.
end when they're in the water and,
Oh,
and
that was-
he keeps dunking him.
yeah, and he finally
Yeah.
gets engulfed in flames. Like fucking scary vampire
was,
shit.
yeah,
I haven't seen
it's-
scary
yeah,
vampire
yeah.
shit in a million
So
years.
interesting.
Which, like-
I was not scared of them.
Oh, dude.
See, similarly, like, even though it is like it's all the same kind of standard tropes of vampires,
Yeah.
like, it worked. It was really.
I think
was
it's really cool.
scary.
I think
Yeah.
that this one lends it gets a few extra points. I feel like it adds something in this idea that like they're not like they have a hive mind. Like they like all have
Yeah.
the same mind, so they feel like the same entity just through different bodies, and
That
that's
was also
creepy.
really interesting,
Yeah.
right? Like when he starts speaking Chinese.
Yeah,
or like,
exactly.
these
Yeah,
moments
yeah.
where, I almost wanted them to do more with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And my question with that, and maybe I missed it, is Remick the only one who is able
who gets to like tap into
Yeah.
that.
Or is
Yeah.
it like if you feed off a person, then you
It
get
seemed
that?
like he was the only one who kind of
That's what I
fully
thought, too.
tapped into the collective consciousness.
I mean, will you
in
tell
that
me
way.
how was it smoke or stack? Which one gets taken?
Stack.
But I mean,
Right, 'cause
he
it's
learns how to
right,
river
stack,
dance,
yeah.
right? So
Oh,
like,
that's true. That's true.
I don't know. Like I think
I mean,
I
that's
think it's a
also why
mutual
they're not
thing
scary.
because they're river
Fucking
dancing.
river dancing.
Like, I cannot
Yeah.
take you seriously.
I love Irish music, and I
Yeah.
was like, that's not scary.
I mean, that moment's not scary. It's kind of funny and weird.
But it has an edge. I mean, that's what it does feel like, this kind of like moonlight, like dance, like there's a violent quality to it, I think,
there's
in
something
a really powerful way.
Yeah, concerning.
I mean,
about
they
it.
are
Like,
definitely creepier. I might just, I don't know, maybe I need to think about if vampires scare me or not.
I think the vampire trope just doesn't work for you. I think you just
doesn't.
don't like vampires.
It doesn't.
And I don't blame you, because I think that like for our generation especially, like we just got saturated into like dumb and the dumbest fucking vampires.
Yeah.
Like
even Interview with a Vampire, dumb fucking. They
yeah,
get terrible.
and people love
actors.
that shit. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah, they very much
But I totally agree. Like vampire. What I appreciate about this movie is it gets away from the like I want to suck your blood. Right? Like I don't I don't like that vampire.
Yeah, no, I don't want that.
That's
Which
what
also, there's
Nosferatu
no
was.
like Transylvania, Eastern Europe dimension here.
No, yeah,
or
true.
Central
true.
Europe, whichever
True.
part, that's totally left out.
Can I ask a different question?
Yeah.
Which is it. So if you could replace every actor in this movie except for one with Muppets, which would
Are
be
we talking like classic?
which
like,
would be the actor that you keep? And
But wait, are we talking like Muppet Show Muppets? Like Miss Piggy,
like straight up,
okay,
the
all
Muppets.
right, I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a great social media post that was kind of like like tired trend, like remaking every nostalgic 90s movie. Positive trend, remaking all of them with Muppets.
With Muppets,
So it's like, fuck yeah.
Yep.
I would watch that movie. So I want to say Michael B. Jordan,
Right.
but I also kind of feel like the Muppets would be really good, and
Yeah.
because like the outfits, the
Right,
vests, the
right,
hats,
right.
that would work well for Muppets.
I feel like Sammy.
Sammy's the human,
Yeah.
and everyone else is Muppets.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate that because I like how that would continue to center his like his coming of age,
Yeah.
right? His like
Yeah.
his like
And
like,
he could
isn't-
teach them a song,
But
and then they could all
isn't
sing a
he
song
Kermit?
together.
Is he Kermit?
He's totally the Kermit
Oh.
character,
I
right?
don't know. I think Kermit's too like derpy. Too like
Yeah. I'm like, oh, you can't. The sex scenes will not translate with the Muppets.
No, you're gonna
I
keep
mean,
it
they
exactly
could.
as is.
I feel like I would keep Slim, Delroy Lindo.
that was the other one I was thinking.
Yeah.
It is a funny image of like them driving in the car, and it's
Yeah.
like just him
And all the
talking
Muppets.
about
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
terrible,
Oh my God.
terrible
Yeah.
experiences to a bunch of Muppets.
But
Like
also,
drinking.
Oh my god, yes.
He's like talking.
when he's eating the garlic and he's kind of like, all right, like he's the one who ultimately is like slitting his wrists and
Yeah.
fighting the vampires on his own, right? Like there is
yeah.
a way that he is kind of the leader.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's true.
coordinating all these other Muppets.
Yeah,
like I don't know,
yeah.
like it kind of it works. It works, I think. Who would Miss Piggy be?
Obviously, Mary. I would cast Miss Piggy as Mary in a
Yeah,
minute.
that does sound. Yeah.
I was trying to hear what certain lines from Mary would sound like as
As Miss Piggy.
Miss Piggy.
Can you do a Miss Piggy
I could do, like,
impersonation?
Kermit. I heard you loud and clear, but then you stuck your tongue in my coons.
Exactly the line I was thinking of. Exactly. I was like, it's got to be that line.
That's the cold open.
That is the line.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the last thing we need is a soundbite.
no.
Kasha,
No.
can
You
do
gotta
for
do
us?
it.
We need a
My
soundbite.
sound might be no.
I mean, it can be if you want that to be
No
it.
one's done that yet.
Oh, I don't know.
We're actually in need of like more noise sound bites.
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
people this year have just done like quotes.
Quotes, yeah. But more sounds.
Yeah, more sounds would be great.
Impersonate singing.
Yep. We're getting a feverish head
Can
shaking.
that
You
look on
mean
my
you-
face,
Yeah,
can that
yeah.
translate into sound?
You don't want to sing a traditional Irish.
I don't think any of your listeners want me to sing a traditional Irish song. Yeah, no, I'll just no.
You gave it extra
That's all I've
length that
got.
time, so I really
exactly.
appreciate it.
was
That was
like,
good.